League World Series. Game 2 of the Great Lakes region. Another border state battle. This one against Illinois and Wisconsin. 6 teams in this Great Lakes region. 2 of them just played a high drama game. Hamilton, Ohio and Salisbury, Indiana. Indiana winning in extra innings on a drop third strike and pass ball by a score of 4-3. Jim Barber, John Gregory, baseball analyst. Everybody's caught their breath after game 1. On to game 2. Managers very confident on both sides. And still the fact that lies in the play is the idea that we have to have extreme sunshine, a turf, and some circumstances that teams typically aren't used to.
No, not used to. And both of these teams making their first appearance here. You're talking about River Forest Youth Little League out of Illinois making their first appearance here. And for Wisconsin, this Glendale Little League, this is the first state championship for them. So add that pressure to it along with everything else you mentioned.
You would be hard-pressed to find a 13-year-old as we take a look at the Little League at a glance, because 13-year-olds are no longer part of the game. The game has now been reduced to ages 10 through 12. John, you think it's a good idea? And through the games we've seen so far, how does that register?
Yeah, I think it really does. Giving the younger kids an opportunity to play. They've made some changes there, I think, for safety reasons, doing some extra things at extra innings. We had that last time, didn't get to the 8th inning, so we didn't see those changes that were made. But I like that change because it gives those younger kids a chance to play in the Little League World Series.
Also part of that graphic, minimum mandatory play. 13 players or 14 players on each team means everybody must bat. Speaking of bats, we'll have the batting order for Illinois when we start our game here from Westfield. To the regional, you must know how to dance. I think Mr. Langerman's got it done well. Wisconsin starting pitcher today is Cole Fox. Quiet, intense, and a leader out there, and a right-handed thrower and a good one.
Yep, good one. Hard fastball, too. That's what his coaches say about him. He'll throw an occasional breaking ball up there, but look for him to feature the fastball, and one of the harder throwers on this team today.
He'll face an Illinois batting lineup with Jack Paris at shortstop, Ryan Lazuski, Luke Hickey batting third, Ben Jarnicki, the catcher's fourth, A.J. Kilberg fifth, Ethan Niewander, the pitcher, bats sixth, and Jimmy O'Brien in left, the center fielder, batting seventh. Matt Carlin, the center fielder, hits eighth, and Spike Gall, the right fielder, is batting ninth. We are ready to play. Don't know if we can top the great theater we have in game 1, in which Indiana came all the way back from a 3-0 deficit to win it. I don't know, would you call that a walk-off pass ball? Looked more like a sprint to home plate.
Yeah, certainly wasn't a walk, that's for sure.
Drop third strike led to the winning run as Indiana defeats Ohio and moves on to the winner's bracket to face Kentucky tomorrow. The winner of this game gets Michigan tomorrow 1 o'clock following Indiana and Kentucky. Jack Paris getting started for Illinois. He's the shortstop. Referred to as Grandpa Jack. And he gets a jack out to center field, a base hit, a good start for River Forest and its Little League program here in the top of the first. Jump right on that pitch.
Well, they say the team feeds off of him at that leadoff spot, and Jack Paris gets them up in the dugout right away. Well, Jim, first game, last game where we had the team that scored first didn't win the game. Ohio with the lead, 2-0, wasn't able to hold on. Indiana coming back for that one. So 3 times we saw it in the first game. The team that got out front had the win. Not the case in the first game today.
We'll see if it matters here in game 2 as Ryan Lazuski, heading in the number 2 spot, jumps ahead on the count, 2 balls. Ryan's the starting second baseman for Illinois. Table setter. Now the count to 2-1. If he had a walk-off song, it would become "Here Comes the Boom." There's a dog named Zeus. It's a good name for a dog. Count 3 balls and a strike. River Forest in the green uniforms today, representing Illinois. The blue and gray belongs to Glendale, Wisconsin. Cole Fox with a pitch. Spanked toward right field. but right at the right fielder. And there's one out. So not a problem. And the ball was hit well, but right at right fielder John Merck. Merck in right field along with Chris Morgano and Ali Sharnick. It's Jack Stuke, Thomas Haverty, Bryce Siegel, Eli Nelson, third to first. Cole Fox pitches. James Worth catches. Popped up in foul ground and just out of reach. For Illinois, coaching at third, the skipper, Matt Hickey. First base is Dennis Jarnicki, and Joe Lazuski is the bench coach. Umpiring crew today for game 2. Andrew Elliott behind home plate. Dan Giedel at first. Gary Murnahan at second. And Mike Marceau is the third base umpire. 4-base umpiring crew in girls softball a week ago. Close by in Fishers, Indiana. 3 umpires until the championship game, which had 4. All volunteers.
Thing about it, Jim, too, we haven't said much about the umpires throughout this tournament so far in the first 4 games. That's a good thing. They're doing a great job out there, and you mentioned volunteering. Had some close plays that had to go for video, and most of the time they get it right. Occasionally, that's a bang, bang so close that they have to go to video on it.
Luke Hickey in the 3 spot lays off that fastball and works the count to 3-2 with the man out and 1 on in the first. 2 cities separated by less than 100 miles. Luke in a full count down the first base line. Going close to the fence. Paris around second, around third. It'll be a stand-up double as Jack holds up, and Illinois has got something cooking in the first. Hickey hit it spot on down the right field line, able to get 2 bases on it. And now Ben Jarnicki, the catcher, and the number 4 hitter comes to the plate following this 2-base hit.
Did a nice job pulling his hands in. Look at that pitch. It's on the inner half of the plate, so he pulled his hands in closer to his chest and drills it down the right field line. Well played defensively as they hit the cutoff man and cut the run from scoring at third base. Well played defensively.
Catcher and team leader Ben Jarnicki, son of first base coach Dennis and mom Nancy. Ben's the biggest player in this team, John, at 5'7". Got a walk-off hit in the 11 under state championship finals year previous. So the count 2 strikes. Runner at second base here in the top of the first. Towards second base, runners at second and third, I should say. And on the infield ground out, that plates a run. And it's 1-0 in favor of Illinois on the RBI ground out by Ben Jarnicki.
Jarnicki putting the ball in play, making sure they pick up at least a run here in this first inning. I like the way that Bryce Siegel playing that second base bag. He went out there as a cutoff man on that defensive play for the base hit down, or the double down the right field line,
which likely prevented a run from scoring on that double. A.J. Kilberg, the third baseman. Favorite food is one of my favorites, buffalo wings. Here's 2, John, judging by some of our visits on the road in football.
I've seen you before with the wings.
A.J. batting in the 5th spot. He's the third baseman. Ethan Niewander to follow the pitcher. Up in the air toward right field into that sunscreen. And a nice job of John Merck handling that. But Luke Hickey with a double to right, and Ben Jarnicki, an RBI ground out. It is 1-0 Illinois.
Every day, visionaries are creating the future. So every day, we put our latest technology and unrivaled network to work. The United States Postal Service makes more e-commerce deliveries to homes than anyone else in the country.
Okay, family meeting.
Aw, come on. I'm right in the middle of my show.
Busy, doing homework. I can hear you playing video games.
That's me, honey.
Well, I'm going to T-Mobile, and for every iPhone XR I buy, they'll give me another one. But But if you're all too busy...
Wait, what? You're getting iPhone XRs?
Oh, yeah, the battery life on those is sick.
Oh, can you bring me back one? I can't pause this game.
Come to T-Mobile, and for each iPhone XR you get a second one on us.
This kitchen, open concept. It's got a man cave, a home gym. But the only problem, I don't live here, because the real estate agent never showed us this place.
Summer nights keeping me up. I wanna waste time just looking up. Sky full of stars, mind wandering far like we're 16.
The Infinity Plus Summer Sales Event is on.
Glendale, Wisconsin, located 7 miles north of Milwaukee. Home of Bud Selig, Major League Baseball commissioner for a number of years. Jim Barber, John Gregory. To the bottom of the first we go with Ethan Niewater on the mound for Illinois, and already staked to a 1-0 lead.
Well, Niewater is going to be the right-hander out there that you'll see today. Fastball, curveball. Number one guy that they want on the mound is this guy right here. He can bring the fastball. You won't see a whole lot of other things from him, but fastball is his go-to pitch. He does have a curveball to go along with it, but he'll feature the fastball today.
His song is one of my favorites. I heard it 1,000 times on the road home with a couple of teenagers and my wife from Chicago. I Panic at the Disco. Hey, look, Ma, I made it. I won't sing it for you. As we look at the starting lineup for Glendale, Wisconsin, Bryce Siegel leads off. Then Thomas Haverty, James Worth, and Oliver Sharnick, 1 through 4. Followed by Cole Fox, Jack Stuck, Eli Nelson, Chris Morgano, and John Merck, 5 through 9. All right-hand hitters except for Chris Morgano, who is a left-handed swinger. Oh, we saw the right fielder, John Merck, battle the sun on a couple of occasions in that first inning. We kind of tipped you off that that might be an issue today. It's almost feels like an October high sky here, but because there's plenty of sunshine and there's no place to hide out here in terms of a cloud, it has become a bit of a concern for outfielders.
Yeah, it gives everybody an opportunity to face that sun. Early in the morning at the 10 o'clock game, it's the left fielder and center fielder. Then as the afternoon moves along, it starts to be the right side, and that's the right fielder that time that had to fight the sun. So end of the day, it's the catcher and the infielders that have to fight it on the first base side.
And not that anybody cares, it's also the announcers by about 6 o'clock in the evening too. But that's we'd complain, but who'd listen, right?
That's right.
Bryce Siegel wears 44, spark plug on this team. Senior hacking away there, a ball and 2 strikes. Winner of game 1 in extra innings. Indiana 4, Ohio 3. Indiana gets Kentucky to start the games tomorrow, followed by Michigan, and the winner of this game. Double elimination tournament. Slow roller to the right side of the diamond. And a smart play by Ethan Niewater, handling all himself, 1 out. Jimmy O'Brien is in left, Matt Carlin in right, Spike Gall. Or in center, Spike Gall in right. And it's A.J. Kilberg, Jack Paris, Ryan Lazuski, and Luke Hickey, Ethan Niewater, and Ben Jarnicki. And Thomas Haverty wearing 23. Cool, calm, collected leader at the plate, 12 years of age.
No surprise, Niewater on the mound. Came up big in the state tournament for them. Really versatile, excellent fielder out there, and you could see him coming off the mound there, handling it all. Really, players on this team think that this guy is the smartest player on the field, so nice to have him on the mound for this first game.
His parents are Chris and Rachel, and right now Ethan is practicing for his bar mitzvah. So a lot on the plate for him. High chopper, gonna be a tough play. We have seen a lot of those seeing eye infield hits. And Thomas Haverty has one to his credit with 1 out.
You don't have to hit it far. Just hit it into the ground here. He beats it into the ground and able to leg it out. Niewater did everything he could, including fielding it barehanded, but still not enough time to get the runner at first.
15, James Worth to the plate. Son of Coach Mike Worth and Mom Jennifer. Mike's an attorney. He's on the bench right now. Third base coach is the manager, Dan Stuke. At first base is Greg Mangarelli. Mango. That's a good baseball name, isn't it? Maybe a good football name, too. Mango.
A lot of good names on both sides.
Yeah.
These nicknames are flowing.
Double play ball to short. Instead, everybody's going to be safe. Hit hard at Jack Paris. Unable to handle, so Thomas Haverty at second. James Worth at first, and still just one out.
Taylor-made double play ball here, not able to come up with it. Jack Paris had both hands on it. Just came up on him a little bit quick, not able to come up with it. Now a couple runners on here.
For the number 4 hitter in the Wisconsin lineup, Ali Sharnik. Well-traveled kid. Been to Italy, Netherlands, Belgium, the UK. Also studied Spanish for a year. And he has power personified. In a 25-0 win, he had 3 homers in the same inning. Instead, Weekly back to the pitcher, and the Forest at the lead base, affected by Niewanner over to A.J. Kilberg, and there are 2 outs. Nice play by Ethan.
Well, talk about his smartness, his baseball instincts out here. You got to know where you're going to go with the ball before it's hit to you. And Niewanner knew if the ball's back to him, he's going to have a play at third base. Throws a strike over there and picks up a big second out.
And with that second out, it leaves it up to Cole Fox to try to deliver the pitcher. Cole has a batting cage in his backyard.
That helps.
Yeah, Wisconsin weather can get pretty cool, so opportunity to swing when you can, big deal. Waves at that one outside of the zone, a ball and a strike. This inning began with an unassisted put up by the pitcher, then an infield hit to the pitcher, an error, and then a force out at third. Illinois 1, Wisconsin nothing. Just getting started if you are just joining us. It's great to have you wherever you're watching in the great country of the USA. Headed to center field. What a drop. Yes, sir. Up against the fence. And over the fence. It'll be a ground rule double, which will plate 1 and put runners at second and third. So Cole Fox comes through, and the game is tied at 1.
Boy, he hit that hard. This is unfortunate for Wisconsin, because if this ball doesn't go over the fence there, they probably plate 2 runs.
So runners now at second and third with the game tied at 1. Number 6 hitter for Wisconsin, Jack Stuke. Spells his last name S-T-U-C-K. Son of manager Dan and wife Marnie. Get a chance to see Jack pitch. He's got 4 different pitches, and probably, I would think, John is the most versatile of all Wisconsin throwers.
Yeah, including in those 4 pitches, 2 of them are breaking balls.
That one bounces in, runner trying to score, and does off the drop third, but still they get the out at first. The run will not count. Inning over. Good play by catcher Ben Jarnicki to save a run.
For Wisconsin in the bottom of the first inning, 1 run on 2 hits, 1 Illinois error, 2 runners.
That saves the lead run, and we go to the second with a game tie.
Niewanner, 21.
It's an initiative of Little League Grow the Game, and it's distributed over $4 million. Helps funding facility repairs and improvement, and expanding and establishing softball, Challenger Division, and urban initiative programs. Visit littleleague.org/grow the game for more information. Jim Barber and John Gregory on ESPN today. Game 2 of the Great Lakes. Game 1 won by Indiana in 7 innings, 4-3 on a drop third pass ball.
Leading off the top of the second inning for Illinois, the pitcher, number 8, Ethan Niewanner.
Ethan Niewanner will lead off. The pitcher batting in the 6th spot. Then the left fielder Jimmy O'Brien and Matt Carlin, the center fielder. 6, 7, and 8 for Illinois in the second. Matt Hickey, the manager, coaching at third. Dennis Jarnicki at first. Joe Lazuski is the bench coach. By the way, Manager Matt is a writer and editor. And among other things, when you're part of Little League, as this one heads to first base, also a pitch Carter and a scorekeeper. Mr. Niewaner is retired on a ground ball to first unassisted.
The left fielder, number 11, Jimmy O'Brien.
River Forest, Illinois has a population over 11,000. And its famous face, a former Cubs pitcher, the emotional and entertaining Carlos Zambrano, part of that 2003 team that the Cubs thought was going to the World Series, but lost the last 3 to Miami, which went to the World Series and won it all.
Colorful.
Yeah. Competitive guy, too. Enjoyed watching him pitch. Jimmy O'Brien hitting in the 7th spot. Clutch hitter for this team, born on April Fool's Day, April 1. Jimmy, by the way, can finish a Rubik's Cube in under a minute. John, can you do that?
I can't even finish one.
I wouldn't even try. That's a talent. Has a sister, Grace, who was part of the Little League World Series softball representative for Illinois in 2016. Facing Cole Fox here in the Illinois second. Illinois was down 6-0 in the state championship game in the 4th inning, came back to win. Strike 3 called. First strikeout of the game for Cole Fox. 2 outs in the Illinois second.
Cole Fox throwing strikes. I like his defense behind him too, so pretty comfortable on the mound knowing that he's got a group of guys behind him that can play some defense.
Now to center fielder Matt Carlin. His nickname is Cool Hand. He was the winning pitcher in a previous year in the 11 under state finals. Wants to be a movie editor, and I'll bet there'll be a place for him down the line. Cinematography so big in this country and such a great interest to people. Not only in terms of viewing, but also employment.
Nice to know right now. You're going to get so many kids going to college that don't know what they want to be, so get you thinking about it early, having to fill out those bio sheets. And it's interesting. Sometimes coaches say, oh, I didn't know that about them. Even their own kids. One of the coaches, one of the managers found out his son wanted to be an airline pilot, and he had no idea.
So start saving your money, Dad. If we get that far, Spike Gall, the right fielder and the number 9 hitter for River Forest Little League of Illinois, would bat next. Count a ball, 2 strikes, 33rd pitch from Cole Fox. Off speed, base hit the other way by Matt Carlin. Hit number 3 for Illinois, keeps the inning alive for Spike Gall. Good piece of hitting going the opposite way. How many times have we seen a left-handed hitter do exactly this in the regional?
Yep. And this was a high fastball on the outside. He just kind of tomahawked it over there. Got his hands on top of it, and not easy to do. Normally pop those balls out or pull them and ground out.
And that keeps the inning alive for number 2 Gall. John Gall is his given name, but when I mentioned that to Manager Matt Hickey, he quickly corrected me. Said nobody will know him by that name. Spike off the pitcher. Can they get him at first? They do. Line drive off of Cole Fox to Eli Nelson, and that ends the inning. Unconventional but effective pitcher to first base.
For Illinois in the top of the second, run 20.
You know, major leaguers had to start somewhere, and almost every one of them played some form of Little League. How about Christian Yelich? Star home run hitter for the Milwaukee Brewers. That's what he looked like many years past. Grew up in the Thousand Oaks area, the region familiar to Dallas Cowboy fans, and many years of training camp. And right now, Mr. Yelich and the Brewers are trying to solve the Cubs pitching. They've mustered just 3 runs in 2 games and have lost the first 2 games of an important series.
Wow, how many kids from that Thousand Oaks area make it to the big time in sports and athletics? What a great area to grow up in and play sports. And Yelich is just amazing. When you watch him hit, just the quickness of his bat, pretty impressive.
They have dropped to 3 games out of first place, now in 3rd. National League Central behind the Cardinals, who are half a game out from the Cubs. Eli Nelson leading off the Wisconsin second. Not been to Miller Park, but that's a party waiting to happen during the summer. Not only with great baseball, but just terrific fan support. And they are finding a way, I understand, to keep Cub fans from attending the Cubs-Milwaukee series, or at least they're trying anyway, as they have a very competitive team that last year beat the Cubs in a tiebreaker game.
Cubs will travel. Cubs fans.
Team just hasn't figured out how to win on the road. Good off-speed pitch by Ethan Niewander, and Eli Nelson is strikeout victim number 1.
Niewander's been impressive all around the strike zone. Gets a breaking ball here. Said he's kind of a fastball guy. He'll throw a few breaking balls up there, but fastball is his plus pitch. Right there, it looked like his breaking ball was a plus pitch.
Josh Rattray has been keeping stats for us the last couple of days. Informs us that they've limited some of those sales just to people within state.
Oh, yeah.
That'll do it.
You know,
Chris Morgano.
I was going to say, Cubs fans will end up buying them outside. They'll find them.
Well, to follow that point, if you remember Game 7 for the World Series in 2016, when the Cubs won in extra innings, looked like a home game by all the fans outside of Progressive Field in Cleveland. Not to mention a number of them who got tickets for the 7th and deciding game. By the way, Terry Francona, who manages Cleveland, who has been an ESPN commentator before, was so enamored with Little League Baseball and the coverage in Williamsport that his statement was, it's county fair meets Little League Baseball. You know, the pomp and circumstance and the atmosphere around it. It is a joy. Slow roller, second base. And Chris Morgano out by a step, and the throw by Ryan Lazuski, who had to go to his knees.
Zeus, nice play. Went to his knees, kept everything in front of him, knew he had time to make the play here. You could see him going down, blocking it, making sure it's not going to get by. I like the way he handled that.
Yeah. Leads to the second out of the inning. Now John Merck batting in the 9th spot. He is the right fielder. Plays hockey and months after baseball. Down the third baseline. He's around first, and he will hold up. Hit hard and past A.J. Kilberg. So the inning continues as Wisconsin goes back to the top. Not an easy play.
Hot corner. Got to be ready down there.
Back to the top of the lineup for Wisconsin. 44, the second
One of the things they'll teach you as you get older, make sure that ball does not get by you at that third base side or the first base. Those are potential doubles out there.
Back to Bryce Siegel, who started the game unassisted pitcher over to first base. More often than not, in late inning games that are tight, those bases are covered third and first by the fielders as they hang tight to the bags to take away those extra base hits you were referencing, John.
Coaches were talking about this young man at the plate, his second base play, his ability to play that bag. Not a big guy out there, but they say he's as good a second baseman as you see. You know, we've seen really good shortstops out here. Majority of the time, those are the best, but this kid looks really good at second.
Headed to left center field, and a diving catch made by Matt Carlin to end the inning. So, as second baseman Ryan Lazuski had to go to his knees, so did our center fielder. After 2, tied at 1. Let's take a look at the Bear Cubs years back. Some of the junior Cub players, Chris Bryant, when he looked like at age 12 in Vegas. Anthony Rizzo with a nice smile out of Parkland, Florida, and Joe Madden, who played Little League in Hazleton, PA. See, John, we have to remain non-political here if we're going to show Christian Yelich and Milwaukee. We must show a Cub.
Yeah,
it's required.
You know, we were talking about the fans traveling for Chicago. Joe Madden must be pretty happy to see that, because he certainly didn't get it in Tampa.
No.
The Red Sox would go down there. It would be like Fenway's fans just moved south to Florida.
Yeah, I agree. And I've been to games with the Rays. It's too bad. In fact, the consideration now is to move part of the home games to Montreal. Jack Paris leading off the Illinois third, singled and scored in the first. A comebacker. Cole Fox, one out. Ryan Lazuski, Zeus to the plate. Flied out to right field in the first.
Number 12, Ryan Lazuski.
Cool Cole out on the mound.
Yeah.
You know, some guys will panic when the ball gets hit back to him. He was nice and calm. Plenty of time. Get that throw over to first base.
Ryan's a good table setter. Trying to go the opposite field there, as we've seen some left-handed hitters do so far. Well, you don't have to make the catch to get FaceTime on our network.
Well, you got the boos.
Just a good effort will do. It's a tough crowd here. One hop towards short. It's a long throw. And just in time by Thomas Haverty, 2 outs. It's good play, and it's playing it nicely here on the turf.
Yeah, that's one of those balls that's in between, kind of scoops on. You don't know if it's going to come up or stay down, and he reacted nicely, having that body in front. Haverty with a good play and a nice throw over the bag.
This turf here, by the way, one of 19 fields at Grand Park that was renovated after last year's Little League tournament, which was in September. All fields now have turf on the infield. Cost at $2.3 million. The mound, though, is what you would see in any conventional Little League ballpark, and that is not turf. Just nice American soil. But it's between the catcher and the pitcher where that ball bounces. It can do a lot of different and unusual things. We've seen it bounce sideways, bounce up like a rubber ball. A couple times it's just died out there.
Yeah. When they elected to make that change to the infield, they did not make the change to the outfield. So natural grass out there in the outfield.
1, 2, 3 for Illinois in the third for pitcher Cole Fox. Thomas Haverty will lead off the Wisconsin third. You've been watching our Little League. You may want to play the game. Well, it's easy to find your local league. Visit playlittleleague.org, enter your address, and you'll come up with a Little League program near you. And a lot of kids who join Little League do so after watching the games on the ESPN networks. It's exciting, particularly when the games get to Williamsport and suddenly gets in the blood.
Talking about growing the game.
Yeah.
How's the game grown too since ESPN has started to cover all of these games? And when you watch it and you're sitting at home, boy, you think, I'd love to be there. And it's been bigger and better every year.
It's a good point. And if you're watching game one, the way the drama unfolded there, with Indiana rallying in the last inning, then they have a runner thrown out at home plate on a hit that extended the game. This one is headed to left field. Good stoppage short. This is a long throw, and not in time, as Thomas Haverty gets his second infield hit to start the third. But if you're watching game one with the play at the plate that forced extra innings, and then the walk-off passed ball, drop third strike, I mean, that place was electric. And tomorrow, Indiana and Kentucky meet at 10 Eastern, and that'll be juiced up as well.
Yeah, this morning, perfect weather to play that 10 o'clock game, and crowds both sides of the stands were full. People all around the outfield fence.
By the way, I was talking to the family of the kid with the great hair. Your reference, and they're pretty excited about getting a chance at their neighbors from KY. Off the low pitch, good backup by the second baseman there, as Ryan Lazuski was in position to prevent that throw from Ben Jarnicki going into center field. James Worth remains at the plate. Thomas Haverty on the second base. You know, it's off camera, but we saw one of the coaches come out and leap over the chalk line. I mean, he just didn't step over it, which is a baseball superstition. I mean, if we were judging here, on a 10-point scale, he'd be up there.
That was a plie.
That was great. See if he does it going back.
Yes.
Oh, I love baseball superstitions. You played the game.
Yeah.
You know what it's about.
Wonder how long he's been doing that.
Nobody's been able to document what happens if you actually touch the white line, but it's not happening for people that play this game, coach this game. It's worth a look here. Now watch this.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you see him going out there, but
I'm not
you don't
sure that
normally see it coming back.
That might be Joe Lasuski. It is Joe Lasuski, who is the bench coach, and he has been asked about how long is he be jumping over chalk lines. He says forever. Good job, Joe. Some people, though, take a superstition like Joe did to an art form, you know. Not a conventional walk and just extend one leg over the line and the second. Joe's, you know, he's got it going here. Strike 3 called. Ethan Niewander gets a strikeout here. Man at second down with 1 out in the 3rd. Big pitch.
Location down in the strike zone. You get the strikeout there. 2 strikes close to the plate. Gotta be hacking. Gets the called strike.
3rd strikeout, 1 in each inning so far. Dropped 3rd in the 1st, the strikeout to start the 2nd, and now here. Ali Sharnik, who was forced out on a grounder pitcher to 3rd. Bats for the 2nd time. Thomas Haverty still at 2nd base. So far, like game 1, tightly contested. Wisconsin Glendale's Little League lost the state championship in 2018. Ben Jarnicki locates, runner remains. Little League located less than 5 hours away from the Westfield / Indianapolis area. And a beautiful day for baseball. We expect more of the same tomorrow, but Tuesday has become a bit iffy. And that's when we get to games of even more significance.
Full slate that day, too.
Yep. Could be more than 4, huh? Or maybe extending into Wednesday with our 2 slate. This is pounded to center field, but caught. Thomas Haverty has to go back to 2nd. Matt Carlin with a catch, 2 outs. Matt now has a couple of putouts in the game. That got stung by Ali, but not deep enough.
Oh, he hit that one right on the button, too. Right at the center fielder. Had him played well defensively. Right in the right spot.
We're going to have a pitching change here, as the pitch count has gone to 50 plus for Ethan Niewander. Gets a nice round of applause. And we will take a break. Luke Hickey now becomes the new pitcher, as Ethan Niewander has reached over 50 pitches as they try to sustain him for the rest of the tournament. 5'4", 105 pounds, good left-handed thrower, age 12.
Yeah, ask your dad. If you ask his dad about him, he'll say he's pretty solid on the mound. Likes his mechanics out there and what he does, but good looking lefty here, trying to see if they can't get out of this inning. Now saving a pitcher, saving pitch counts out there. That's what this team's going to do. Allow that defense to play behind. I like both of these defenses. The way this game flow has been, you don't have the strikeout pitchers out there, but I like it because you got guys behind you that can play.
And Luke Hickey gets his first strike with a count of 2-1. Thomas Haverty started the inning with an infield single, then got to 2nd base, and that's where he's standing. Take us through the delivery of Luke Hickey right here, because it is a bit unconventional.
Yeah, a little bit old school, if you will, with that stretch, and then Looks like he's going to drop down to the side.
Off the drop ball by catcher Ben Jernigan. On the third goes Thomas Haverty. Count now 3-2. But it is different, isn't it?
Yeah, you don't normally see this with a left-hander. You see it from a right-hander a lot of times, but it almost looks like he's going to drop down and throw from the side, but really comes 3/4.
You watch a lot of MLB. You still have contacts there. Does he remind you of anybody in the leagues?
It's just different. I was trying to figure it out.
He loses his counterpart, Cole Fox, the pitcher, who's on base for the second time. And the inning remains alive for Jack Stuke. So you got Luke Hickey and Jack Stuke in the game.
There is a lefty that he does remind me of. I can't think of the name right now, but may come to me. I'm trying to think.
We'll give you the rest of the game to figure it out.
I may never figure it out.
Runner hesitated, at least a runner at third. In the meantime, Cole Fox went down to second. Ben Jernigan finally located the ball, which was still close to his side. So at third base, Thomas Haverty had a hunch, an inkling, decided to stay at third. Dan Stuke is the manager and third base coach. Hit to short. Should end the inning. And does. Wisconsin threatens but fails to score. Halfway home as we go to Ben Jernigan to start the fourth in a 1-1 game. Two teams here in the Westfield Regionals. One from Great Lakes and one from Midwest to be crowned champions later in the week and head on to Williamsport, PA for the time of their lives. All games on the ESPN networks, 337 total, a number of Little League divisions all summer long.
I love it. Baseball allows you to lose yourself.
Very nice. Nicely done. You got a career in voiceovers, man. Ben Jernigan scheduled here to start the fourth inning. Grounded out second to first. Got an RBI for Illinois' only run. Another good one here in the Great Lakes. The first one went extras, won by Indiana, 4-3. Now that's the way to keep yourself away from the sun. Well done, youngster. It's not sunscreen, but you know, it qualifies as a hat, I guess.
It's a screen.
Yeah, a screen, right. Good. Fourth inning of work for Cole Fox. Gave up the lone run in the first. Since then, a single, and has retired 8 of the last 9 he has faced. But loses Ben Jernigan to start the Illinois fourth. Last time Illinois put its leadoff hitter on, it scored. And right now, Cole is at the magic number of 50. So Glendale in Little League has got a decision to make. And manager Dan Stuke.
11 will come into pitch. 28 will go to right field.
If you exceed 50, you've got to rest 3 days. So if Mr. Fox is pulled here, he'll be out just 2 days, which allows him to come back a little earlier for major games.
Leaving the mound after throwing 50 pitches. Number 28, Cole Fox, moves to right field. Taking over on the hill for Wisconsin, number 11, Jack Stuke.
Jack Stuke will come in to pitch for Wisconsin. So a change in pitchers here in the top of the fourth inning. After the leadoff walk issued to Ben Jernigan. Pogo sticking is the special talent of the manager's son, Jack Stuke. Checks in at 5'3", shade under 100 pounds. Wears 11 and he is age 12.
We were told he is the young gun with 4 separate pitchers out there. 2 of those including 2 breaking balls. One of them is more of a slider, more of an off speed. He throws 1 breaking ball a little bit harder than the other, but fastball, 2 curve balls, and a change for him out on the mound.
So after a couple more tosses, we'll be ready to go, and A.J. Kilberg rather, will step in. Each team with a run in the first. That's been it.
He likes LSU.
He does.
College baseball.
Tell you what, I saw LSU
fan.
in person a lot this year. Tigers are good.
Great atmosphere there.
Oh, yes. SEC baseball. Toward left field. Right on line, though, and dropped. Then he runners at first and second. Chris Morgano unable to haul it in.
It's a couple times we've seen outfielders maybe take one step in and the ball just seems to carry in this ballpark. Boy, got the pitch up in the strike zone and just went up and got it. Hit it pretty hard out there. Morgan not able to come down with it. Now runners on first and second with no outs.
Let's check that. That is, and my mistake there, that is Nick Kleczkowski, who's in left field. So the error is charged to Kleczkowski. Runners at first and second, nobody out. Tough ball to handle, though, as most of them are in that outfield. I just keep wondering how much the sun plays into any fly ball that's lifted there. Because more often than not, we have seen diving catches off routine fly balls. We have seen outfielders have to go to their left or their right at the last minute. And that's not to say that they haven't misjudged the ball, but I think in some instances they are having to battle the sun too.
Yeah. That first step so important, recognizing it off the bat. If you don't, sometimes you'll get caught up, especially that ball was hit pretty hard.
Yeah. So TJ Nix pinch hitting here with a scoring opportunity. Runners at first and second, and nobody out. Stays alive, making good contact on 2 strikes. 2 o'clock hour here in Westfield, Indiana, Eastern Time Zone. 1 o'clock for all our central viewers in River Forest and Glendale. Count rolls even, 2-2. Jack Stuke, full windup. Right back to him. 1 play only. So the runners move to second and third, as good as a bunt sacrifice. And now 1 out, with Ben Jarnicki now at third, A.J. Kilberg at second.
Well, I thought this ball was going to spin away from check swing there. Watch this ball head back toward home plate. He did a good job fielding that with his bare hand to make the play at first base.
I love that bounce we get here, John. I mean, you don't get that on a grass field. Otherwise, that ball just dies.
That was kind of like a punt. You know, didn't go into the end zone, started coming back to the field.
Dutch Navigado. Not to refer to him by his first name, Michael. It's too formal. So here's Dutch. Pitch hitting situation. Chance to put his team ahead for the second time. Pop up, headed toward short right field. Second base will not get to it. Run will score, and everybody will be safe. Now, the overthrow will result in another run, and they're going to send a second man on. Bang, bang, play at home plate. He is out. Great recovery in order to get the final runner. But in the meantime, Illinois goes ahead.
Wow.
Although Dutch Navigado is upset. I don't know, maybe he thought he got interfered by the umpire.
Well, I think that was his argument. He wanted to slide, wasn't able to do it here. So we'll take a look at where the home plate umpire is and compared to Navigado as he rounds the bases there. You could see he wanted to go to the inside, so he immediately said, I didn't have a chance.
Navigado's the second guy, and that swipe tag by Jack Worth is ruled out. But what a terrific play in left field This one apparently is going to go under the hood, as they say in the National Football League. So can you determine umpire interference here?
This is tough ruling. I guess if you have to call it on yourself. They're probably maybe just reviewing whether he was out or safe there, not an interference call.
That's a good point. Good swipe tag again by Jack Worth to prevent an additional run scoring. Illinois has a 3-1 lead. Play stands. Home plate umpire for game 2, Andrew Elliott. Do you think he was in a way, John?
I thought, yeah, I really did. It was close. I mean, I think when the umpires will take a review of this thing, that's just a coaching, you know, that's a little bit of time for a coaching. He was trying to react. There were 2 runners coming around, so he just wasn't able to get far enough toward the infield on there, but you can understand getting caught up in the action.
Joey Elza.
Joey Elza will get a chance to pinch hit here. He has a YouTube broadcast during the football season, so this kid's got a potential career in broadcasting.
Nice.
Well, he likely is the star, I would think.
I would say.
Gotta look him up. Illinois with 2 on the last play to lead 3-1. High grounder to shortstop. High bounce. Throw to first in time. Inning over, but not before Illinois regains the lead. Wisconsin, 7, 8, 9 hitters coming up.
These days, we all feel a little anxious sometimes. So I'm partnering with Cigna to remind you that how you're doing emotionally affects you physically. Go for your annual checkup and be open with your doctor about anything you're feeling, physically and emotionally, body and mind.
Summer nights keeping me up. I wanna waste time just looking up. Sky full of stars. Mind wandering far like we're 16.
The Infinity Plus Summer Sales Event is on.
Okay, family meeting.
Aw, come on. I'm right in the middle of my show.
Busy, doing homework. I can hear you playing video games.
That's me, honey.
Well, I'm going to T-Mobile, and for every iPhone XR I buy, they'll give me another one. But if you're all too busy...
Wait, what? You're getting iPhone XRs?
Oh, yeah, the battery life on those is sick.
Oh, can you bring me back one? I can't pause this game.
Come to T-Mobile, and for each iPhone XR you get a second one on us.
They call it the gridiron for a reason. Only the toughest can succeed in here. But even the strongest can lose the battle with addiction.
That's for sure, Coach. I spent my entire career struggling with my addiction to pain pills, but I found strength the day I decided to get help. Now I'm part of Transformations Treatment Center, helping others beat their addiction. We individualize the program for the client.
If you or a loved one needs help, reach out to the Transformations Treatment Center.
In left field, number 11, Jimmy O'Brien, and re-entering in center field, number 6, Matt Carlin.
Umpire Elliott involved in one of the more bizarre plays we've seen this tournament, and believe me, we've seen a few. Dutch Navigado's at the plate with runners at second and third when a ball drops between second and right. That scores at least 1 run, and then on the long overthrow, Dutch Navigado, who actually is still running at this point, is gunned down, then trying to score. To his disappointment, he thought that umpire Elliott was in the way because he wanted to slide. That was not the call. Line drive off the bat. Here to start the bottom of the 4th, Wisconsin hitter Eric Leosha, 1 out.
Left fielder, 22, Nick Klatkowski.
Leosha not waiting, getting that first pitch, taking his hack up there.
So let's see if Wisconsin can have a get-back inning. High bounce to third base. 2 outs. Ethan Niewater, who started as the pitcher, comes over between short and third to make a nice play.
Wow. He had to do it with Niewater crawling. Well, it was Jack Paris crawling up his back. Yeah. He was going after that ball, too. Nice play. Good concentration.
Here's Mac Langerman now batting in the ninth spot. Down 2 strikes. Facing Luke Hickey, who's come out in relief for Illinois. Illinois now with a 3-1 lead. Now what turned out to be a just beyond infield base hit and overthrow. Toward right field. Not a good 2-out hitting in this tournament as Mac Langerman takes a spill at first base. Now gets back on.
Put a little smile on your face.
Yeah, first base coach Greg Mangarelli. Bryce Siegel back to the top of the lineup. Scheduled hitter who's 0 for 2. Siegel being called back though for the moment. And there appears to be a pinch hitter, and that'll be likely Ali Sharnick, but we'll wait and see. No.
Wisconsin now running at first, number 19, John
Check that.
Burke. And now batting for Wisconsin, second baseman, 42, Drew Mangarelli.
That'll be Drew Mangarelli batting. And Drew takes a called strike. Talking to his dad, Greg. Mom is Kim. So he just loves coaching him. Greg is a bench coach on this Wisconsin team, and his best Little League memory was being state champs a little more than 30 years ago, John, in '87.
You never forget.
No.
That's why it's so important to these guys. They remember what it's like, and they know the feeling. So emotionally getting to coach your kid like that, you know what their feeling is and what they're thinking and their stomach feels like playing in a regional.
Strike 3 called. 1 punch out in the inning for Luke Hickey. To the 5th inning. Illinois 3-1 lead as Luke Hickey in relief has been commanding.
In the home half of the 4th inning, no runs, 1 hit.
It is a 6-team Great Lakes regional competition. 2 battled earlier today with Indiana beating Ohio in extra innings 4-3. Right now Illinois leading Wisconsin 3-1. Top 5 of our second game. Get to the winners bracket in the Midwest later this afternoon and this evening.
2 really good games so far here in the Great Lakes. This morning's game and this one here shaping up to be one of those nail biters at the end.
Nick Lasuzo will lead off, pinch hitting in the 5 spot. Nicey Gold is his nickname.
Nicey.
Toward left field, right on line, 1 out. Not a problem for Nick Klechkowski. Good catch.
The shortstop, number 5, Jack Paris.
Here's Jack Paris. Batting in the shortstop position. Singleton scored in the first, grounded out pitch in the first. In the third, actually hit a bullet off the pitcher that resulted in like an assist over to third base. And that's Cole Fox. Unwillingly and unwittingly got credit for an assist. Sometimes the ball travels well off of players too. Not only the turf, but sometimes takes the right bounce for the infield. Count is 3 balls and no strikes. Wisconsin will have the heart of its order up in its half of the 5th. Trailing 3-1. And in 4 pitches, Jack Paris aboard for the 2nd time today. You can find Little League on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at the official handles @Little League. Follow the action, join the conversation. #LLWS. John Gregory, Jim Barber, ESPN crew today live all week long from Westfield, Indiana, Grand Park. But the Colts continue to hold their training camp, getting ready for preseason play against the Buffalo Bills without quarterback Andrew Luck, who has the injured calf. Ryan Lazuski, Zeus at the plate, 0 for 2 today. Fly to center, grounded out to short. Winner of this game gets Michigan tomorrow, 1 o'clock, following Indiana and Kentucky. Ohio, with the loss today, moves to Tuesday in the elimination bracket. The loser of this game will also play on Tuesday. Dropping in center field, base hit. Illinois with station-to-station baseball here with 1 out in the 5th for Luke Hickey.
Getting the Luke calls here.
The pitcher, Luke Hickey.
A chance, John, to add to his own cause. He is 1 for 2. He doubled in the first. Illinois coaches first base Dennis Jarnicki at third. Matt Hickey, the bench coach, is Joe Azuski.
19's going to come in for 2. Yep, he's going to play center field. Yes.
Here come the changes.
Yep.
Stand by.
John Burke is going to go to center field next time defensively. Or defensively at this point.
11's going to play right field. Sorry. And then 28's going to play first.
Jack Stuke will head to the outfield, and Ryan Fox will go to first. As always, John, there'll be a quiz on this at the end of the show. See how much you've been following along.
Throwing 22 pitches with a threshold count of 20. Number 11, Jack Stuke, moves to right field. Taking over on the mound, number 4, Ollie Sharnick. Other defensive changes.
Ollie Sharnick will be the new pitcher.
First base, 28, Cole Fox.
Cole Fox goes to first base. Jack Stuke goes to right field.
And re-entering the game, now playing center
And Ollie
field, 19,
Sharnick will now become the new pitcher. So look at mandatory play. You have 13 or 14 players. Everybody must get a chance to bat once. If you have 12 or less, they must play 6 defensive outs and also bat once. In the case of these two teams, they both have 13 players, so the indication of 13 and 14 applies, which means you must hit once.
And if you were not with us earlier in the game, Indiana in the bottom of the 5th had a chance to possibly go ahead in the ball game, and Little League warned their manager that they needed to get a guy at the plate because they had 2 outs, and forced him to get in there, because if they would have not hit there and took the lead and didn't bat in the bottom of the 6th, they wouldn't have played everybody, and that would have been a suspension. So the Little League out front of everything, letting everybody know, trying to be in compliance, which is very difficult managing all of these changes.
And which is only fair, because the manager gets caught up in the game. He wants his best hitter at the spot. Damon Lewis at that point was forced to go to a pinch hitter. Still came back, won the game in 7, but avoided any type of suspension. You'd have to think more often than not it's an innocent situation where you forget about a pinch hitter, but just in case you're involved and wrapped up in the competition, it's good that Little League and the umpires remind you exactly what the role should be here, and that is to let everybody bat if you have 13 or 14 players. Again, if you have 12, you're expected to bat and defend. Luke Hickey, spot for him, left-handed swinger fouls it off. 1 out, a ball, 2 strikes, and a 3-1 Illinois lead for his team in the 5th. Luke is 1 of 2, as mentioned earlier. Coming up later today, back to the Midwest we go. And Minnesota, which gets base runners aboard, just coming off the bus. 15 runs yesterday and a win, 15-7 over Nebraska. That one to the backstop, and both runners into a scoring position. Chance for Illinois. Put a little separation in this game. And a chance for Luke Hickey, who doubles as a pitcher now. Awaiting a 3-2.
Please return that foul ball. Thank you.
Batting in the 3 spot. Great opportunity here. And he walks, and they are loaded.
Said nail-biting time. Another Great Lakes game, another close finish here in the 5th. Illinois with an opportunity to take the lead here.
And a very dangerous hitter at the plate for Illinois. And Ben Jarnicki, the infield in, with the team leading by 2. Strike 1.
So I mentioned chance with opportunity for them to take a lead, because this is a guy that can hit a big fly, and with those bases loaded, how big would that be?
Would push the lead to 3, which Illinois has not had today. A wave and a miss, 2 strikes. Each team scored in the 1st. Illinois got 2 in the 4th. That's the difference. But right now, River Forest a chance to expand. Everybody in at every infield position.
I say take the lead, I meant extend it.
Yeah, I know what you meant. You meant take the lead to greater heights.
Yes.
I probably interrupted you there. Big moment in the game, particularly for Wisconsin, trying to hold serve at 3-1. To the backstop. Runner going to try to score. Will score. 4-1. So in this inning, a walk, a hit, a wild pitch, a walk, and another wild pitch. And it is 4-1. And Ryan Lazuski now to 3rd. Luke Hickey to 2nd. Jack Parrish coming home for the 2nd time today. In the meantime, Ben Jarnicki out on strikes, 2 outs in the 5th. So the deficit a little bigger now for Wisconsin. Of course, Indiana trailed by 3 in the 5th inning before staging its 2-out rally. Now A.J. Kilberg. Slide to right, reach on an error in right field. Toward left center field. Dropping in. Illinois is going to add to the lead, and into second base, a stand-up double is A.J. Kilberg. 2 more across. It's 6-1 Illinois.
Well, insurance runs, they were happy to get the 1, not to mention add a couple more. Here is another big fly to the outfield. Thought there was an opportunity to make a play out there, but the ball falls down, falls to the ground, and a couple more runs on the board, and more of those insurance runs.
Ethan Niewander to the plate. He's batted once today, starting pitcher in this game.
Over at second base for Illinois as a special bench runner, number 13, T.J. Nix.
T.J. Nix now becomes the special pinch runner.
Illinois, third baseman, number 8, Ethan Niewander.
So manager Matt Hickey's got quite a cushion. Now up by 5 at 6-1. A win puts Illinois up against Michigan tomorrow. The loser of this game will not play again until the elimination bracket Tuesday afternoon. So Ethan Niewander up to the plate. His team beating defending champion Tri-Cities in the Illinois State Championship in extra innings, 7-6. He's got a lucky spot somewhere in the dugout that he just holds location there. He doesn't move, you know, he's got to sit there. Everybody's got their lucky spot.
They won that game in extra innings. They were down 6-0 after 4 innings in that state final. Down 6-3 after 5 innings too.
So you're down to your last 3 outs, trailing by 3. You get the 3 you need, and then you add the important run that wins it. John, you brought it up more than once. A team that is challenged in the state or the district, particularly state, since it's the prior round to coming here to Westfield, a lot of times plays better in its opening game because it has been backed up against the wall.
That's why all these coaches say that is the key game, because part of that bio question is, can you name a game that was pretty important that helped your team along the way? And every single coach says that's the game that had the biggest adversity that helped them grow.
Another walk. There have been 3 in the inning, as Illinois starting to bust this one open. Still 2 outs. Now Jimmy O'Brien, the 7th batter in the inning. Walking over to third base, and manager Matt Hickey.
The left fielder, number 11, Jimmy O'Brien.
By the way, Matt, dating back to his days in Little League, hit a home run. A game he would not forget. Good stop by catcher Worth.
Yeah, I was going to say Sharnick on the mound is a pretty hard throw. A big guy, big body out there.
Towards second base, unassisted, inning over. Illinois adds to its lead, scoring 3. Now Wisconsin with a lot of work to do, and time starting to run out. River Forest, Illinois Little League has been around almost 7 decades, but won its first state title, well, actually just days ago. First time in 67 years that Illinois won the big game, and as John mentioned, had to do it roaring from behind after trailing 6-0, down to its final 6 outs. River Forest is the home of the Mars Bar and the Suzy Q and the Twinkie. So I'm going to make a visit there shortly.
They also had some adversity before that game, too.
High fly ball left field, over the left fielder's head up against the fence. Thomas Haverty's had a big day. 2 infield hits. Now double to left field. He is 3 for 3, and a good start to the Wisconsin 5th. Well, Indiana came back in game 1, starting in the bottom of the 5th. Maybe Wisconsin could get a rally going.
All these teams that face this adversity that we talked about. I was talking about the day before that championship game for Illinois. Spike Gall, playing in this ball game here, was hit in the face by a liner from Luke Hickey in practice, and he missed that championship game too, and he's an important part of this team. So that was more adversity they had to face.
Imagine that happening in practice. Towards center field and dropping. Gonna score a run. James Worth on the second with a double. Back-to-back 2 base hits, and here comes Wisconsin.
Good effort in the outfield, trying to get there. Just not able to get the glove on the ball there, but not because he didn't give it a great effort.
That was Matt Carlin with that attempted diving catch. So now, back-to-back doubles, 6-2 game. Wisconsin itching its way back in this one. Getting closer to getting that tying run to the plate. There we go. Good job, Joe.
Wow, he went to the wide side that time.
Ollie Sharnick. So the meat of the Wisconsin order has delivered so far, and in this game has accounted for 4 hits, a couple of runs scored, and a run batted in. Still needs a couple more base runners to make it interesting. Ollie Sharnick 0 for 2. Fielder's choice, fly to center. Base hit left field. Now it's getting more interesting. Runners at first and third, still nobody out. Hope nobody left the ballpark rooting for Wisconsin after Illinois got that 6-1 lead.
If you've seen as many games as we've had here in these regional tournaments over the years, you never leave the ballpark. You don't know what's going to happen, especially in a close ball game, and this is considered a close ball game even at the beginning of this inning.
Here's 28, Cole Fox. Runner heading down to second, they will give him that base. What makes that important here is that if you complete the next, or the 2 runners you have on base, suddenly you reduce the deficit to 2, and you can do that with a couple of ground ball outs potentially, or certainly a base hit. Cole Fox out in front of that one. Count a ball and a strike. A double, a single, and a stolen base in the inning. Headed to center field, hit pretty well. Caught. That'll be a chance for a sacrifice fly. Runner scores. In the meantime, runner trying to advance from second to third, and he is out. Ollie Sharnick took a chance, cut down. It's a double play and a sacrifice fly, all on one hit ball.
A couple times today we've talked about the defenses and how they position themselves to hit cutoff man. That's exactly why you do it right there. Fly ball to center field is going to get the runner in for sure. Sharnick trying to make third base. That ball was cut off, and a good throw by Bears to get him at third base.
Jack Stuke, if you're Ollie Sharnick, do you regret doing what you did?
Absolutely. You never want to make that out there important runner. That run's not important at this time.
Pitch out 31-3-1.
Coaches dialing into the pinch count because of the days of rest that are required if you exceed the number. And we will remind you from time to time what those limitations are. There are many. Unlike girls softball, which we were all part of last week, in which the pitch count doesn't matter, there isn't one, or one that results in limitations. 6-3 our score now. The count 3-1. 2 outs in the inning and nobody on base. And that fine play by the cutoff man keeps the tying run from coming to the plate here. Because instead of first and third and a 6-3 score, it is now first with 2 outs at 6-3.
21 for 56. Correct. Yep. No.
Luke Hickey is at 32 pitches.
Re-entry for Wisconsin now batting. Number 21, Eli Nelson.
All right, Eli Nelson trying to keep it going. It's 5th inning in a number of games here in this regional and in the Midwest regional, been very productive. It's almost as if teams get to the point of realizing, hey, there's only 2 innings left. We got to do something here.
Find a way to get it done late. Who can handle the pressure? What guy can throw strikes out on the mound? And can you make, I think the biggest thing is, can you make the defensive play late in a ball game where it's key to get that out?
Diving try by A.J. Kilborn, a nice one over at first base, just over his extended glove on the left hand, but a pretty good effort.
Scary as a first baseman, he's sliding in. Well, that's the play too. You got that hard wall that he almost ran into.
Eli Nelson out on strikes. That's it for Wisconsin, which gets 2 back, but still trailing by 3 as we approach the 6th and final inning.
Now playing third base, 21, Eli Nelson.
A lot of changes, beginning with the starting pitcher for this inning, Thomas Haverty. Illinois 6-6-1. Wisconsin 3 runs, 8 hits, and 2 errors. A little bit of errant base running by Wisconsin in the 5th prevents a larger inning, but still have one last chance in the last of the 6th. What we know is this: Eli Nelson, now the third baseman. John Merck is at short. Bryce Siegel at second. I believe Cole Fox still at first. Thomas Haverty pitching. James Worth is catching.
Nice to have Haverty out on the mound. Thomas Haverty, a guy that you can use in kind of spot positions out there if you need him on the mound, a guy that can come out there and get guys out for you. Had a big day at the plate, but now getting an opportunity out there on the mound to see what he can do to help the team.
Yeah. Just trying to hold the fort right here and give his lineup a chance. Illinois has left 6 on base and got 3 runs. Important separation runs in the 5th by way of just a couple of hits. 3 walks, 2 wild pitches in the inning. Aided the cause. Matt Collins played pretty well in the outfield today, leading off. High bouncer. It's going to go foul. Matt Carlin can move down the bases. Spells his last name C-A-R-O-L-A-N. Good juggler and a good slider. Not throwing a slider, but, you know, on the bases. Awaiting a 2-2 pitch. And doesn't bite on the off speed, so the count now is full. Coming up later today, Minnesota and Nebraska in the Midwest Regional. Ball 4. Very patient at the plate.
Yes.
Matt Carlin.
I haven't seen any fast flossers this year.
Here's Spike Gall, re-entering in the hitting position, number 9, after Nick Lasuzo had a chance. Flied out in the 5th. John Spike Gall at the big game-winning RBI on the road here to Westfield. Illinois 3 outs away from advancing to the winners bracket, and a date with the state of Michigan, which has had back-to-back titles here. Fly ball hit to center field. Ali Sharnik with a catch. And there's 1 out now in the 6th. Looking ahead to the Wisconsin bottom of the 6th inning, bottom of the order. 8, 9, and 1 hitters then. And then on to the middle of the lineup if it can get that far, which will likely need to have a chance. Jack Barris. Jack has singled, walked, scored twice. Table setters in this lineup, John, for Illinois have scored 3 times.
That's why they're up there, and they'd like to be able to just try to put a couple more insurance runs on here now. 3 runs, really nothing. Throughout the years, we've seen that. Ability for Wisconsin to come back and score some runs, no question. They've got the manpower to do it.
Wisconsin's challenge will obviously be to hold serve in this inning and then get to that middle part of the lineup that has been so productive today for Glendale Little League. Three balls and a strike. Thomas Haverty getting behind again. Remember, it was 3 walks in the previous inning that allowed Illinois to add 2 more runs. Down to third base. Everybody's going to be safe. Runners now at first and at second with 1 out as Paris reaches for the 3rd time today. Going to be an error.
Got the short hop there. I'd like to see him take 1 more step forward, see if he can't get that ball in the air, and don't let that ball play you. You try to go play the ball. Ball scoots by him here. Now a dangerous situation.
Here comes Zeus, Ryan Lazuski, going after the first pitch, flying to Ali Sharnik in center. Hit it on a dime, so there are 2 outs. Sharnik with back-to-back putouts in this inning. Now Luke Hickey. It's contagious,
yes,
doesn't
it
it?
is.
That one to the backstop. Runners in a scoring position. Illinois trying to get back the 2 runs it gave up in the previous inning. Luke today has doubled. He has walked. He has struck out. He has scored. And he has pitched. Other than that, he hasn't been very busy.
Yeah, his dad said, you know, one of the things he said, I know I'm a little biased, but, you know, he's a very talented player, you know, and these guys don't want to necessarily brag about their own kids out there. That puts them in a tough situation, but, you know, we all know it. We can see it. He's a good player. It's okay to say it.
I always love parents, and I'm sure I've done this myself, that said, you know, I don't want to brag, or I don't want to seem partial. However,
it's okay.
Hey, it's part of being a parent.
It's okay, yeah.
If you're not, who will? 3 balls and a strike. Open base at first, if needed. Will be needed. The bases are loaded. Hickey walks for the 2nd time today. That's 5 walks given up by Wisconsin pitchers in just the last 2 innings, and now a total of 6 for the game. In fact, Wisconsin pitchers have not walked anybody until the 4th. And of the people they have walked today, John, this is significant. 4 of them have scored.
Yep. Now the discussions, are we going to get a pitching change? And we are here right at 20 pitches.
All the pitching changes are a result of having to juggle your staff and not lose much of it to an extra day of rest, or an extra day of rest. You obviously want to bring guys back as soon as possible, but there are restrictions as to how many pitches you can throw, so it keeps your arm fresh, keeps you healthy. It's always been a struggle in Little League competition, but it's part of the rules, and it seems to behoove pitchers well. Let's take a break with a score 6-3, still in the top of the 6th. Nick Kleczkowski's got a cannon arm. At least that's the scouting report. John, we get a chance to see it up close and personal here.
Well, he's in here right now for one reason, just to try to get this all-important 3rd out. If he can, get his team back in the dugout with an opportunity. If not, the big inning comes right now.
Another opportunity for Illinois to bust it open with the bases loaded. Ben Jarnicki is scheduled to bat. Jarnicki today is 0 for 2, but has walked and been credited with an RBI groundout. Only once in the 5 games to this point. Of course, we have not finished this one. So once in 4 games has the team that scored first lost. That happened previously in the game today between Ohio and Indiana, a game that Indiana won 4-3. Here's Ben Jarnicki. Chance to add insurance. High-flying Minnesota and South Dakota with its tournament debut coming up. 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 Central. And now 3 balls, no strikes, and a pitch away from Illinois, scoring its 7th run. On 4 pitches, Illinois now leads 7-3. Ben Jarnicki has 2 runs batted in today without the benefit of a hit.
Yeah, it's a tough thing. We talked about this early in the ball game. Both of these teams with very good defenses too, so hard to see and stand up here and see the walks that create these runs.
Kilberg towards short. Nice play. Inning over. Well done by Thomas Haverty. Could have been worse. Illinois gets an insurance run, and it's 3 outs away from the winner's bracket. Time now for a Honda game summary. It was tied in the 4th inning, 1-1. Illinois got 2, 3, and 1 the rest of the way to lead now by 4. As we go to the bottom of 6, Jack Paris, Dutch Lavagato, and Ryan Lazuski have all come through with either RBIs or runs scored. Jim Barber and John Gregory. Zeus. Ryan Lazuski trying to close it out. Chris Morgano trying to start a big-time rally for Wisconsin. Now trailing by 4. One and 1. Towards short. Jack Paris, 1 out. Chris Morgano's been retired 3 times consecutively, all on ground balls.
Ball hit pretty good though. Paris coming up with it, right place. And a good accurate throw over to first base bag.
Third baseman, by the way, John, now is A.J. Kilberg. Mentioned Paris at short. Number 8, Ethan Niewander. becomes the second baseman. And over at first, Luke Hickey. All the defensive changes as Illinois tries to wrap it up. John Merck batting for the second time today, singled back in the second. Loser gets a day off, the winner gets to play tomorrow. Designed by Little League to make sure that nobody, if they lose that first game, is in position to be eliminated quickly. Strike called. Tournament director Nina Johnson-Pitt running a great show so far. Ashley Nash as well contributing to the success of Little League. Strike called. Twice Mr. Burke thought he had ball 4. And Nina informs us that next year Little League may be played at its new headquarters in Whitestown, Indiana. Ground about to be broken, as Little League will have both baseball and softball there tournament play as the fields are constructed. That's ball 4.
He was working it.
And he fires the bat over to the dugout. Yeah, just a little excited, huh?
Oh, you
right,
want
come on up.
I want that first base bag. Give it to me.
Ball 4 3 times here.
Bryce Siegel.
Bryce Siegel down to the plate. 0 for 2. Wisconsin still needs a couple of base runners to have an opportunity. And the middle of its lineup, Thomas Haverty, James White have hit the ball well. Our game coming up on the 3 o'clock hour in the Westfield, Indianapolis Eastern Time Zone. Later today, not much later really, South Dakota, its debut against Minnesota, a 15-7 winner over Nebraska, and North Dakota with the huge victory over Kansas, 8-0 against Iowa, which beat Missouri yesterday 2-1. I was impressed with North Dakota.
Yeah. Good size, good speed. They play defense well. Do they have enough pitching?
Yeah.
And they look like they've got some athletes out there that they can run out there on the mound, and guys that can throw strikes.
It's a good question at this point in this tournament. Count goes to 2-1 with a man at first. Wisconsin needs 4 to have a chance. As Glendale, Wisconsin is down to its final inning and last 2 at bats. That one skips in. Runner on the second takes away any possibility of a force. The count, more important, it goes to 3-1. Toward shortstop. Jack Paris over the first, and now Illinois and out away. And nearly got the base runner, John Merck, leaning.
Merck originally did the right thing here. Ground ball hits that left side. If you're on second base, he just kind of held his position. Then he came off the bag and got back plenty of time. He knew what was going on, but good base running.
Thomas Haverty waves at a pitch outside the zone. He is the last hope for Glendale, Wisconsin. Into center field. Glendale still alive. Playing conservative on the bases. Thomas Haverty, if we had a player of the game, he'd be it. He's 4 for 4.
I was going to say, you know, he wasn't going to go down easily. He's hit the ball to left field, center field, kind of all over the place. Got a breaking ball there and stayed with it, able to drive it up the middle.
The run that Illinois played at John in the 6th is large, because had that not happened, James Worth with home run power would represent the tying run. As it is, they still need a base runner to bring that tying run to the plate.
The catcher, James Worth.
7-3, Illinois still an out away. Well, you may think about running from first base, but you better be about 100% sure you're going to make it.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
Because otherwise, game over. Count a ball and a strike. Nick Klutchkowski trying to end it here. Toward left field. Game over. River Forest Little League, first time in the state finals and winning it in its opening game here in the regional Great Lakes. Comes up big 7-3.
And a well-played game. Illinois doing what it needs to do, getting some insurance runs at the end, but close ball game up until the 4th and 5th, where Illinois was able to put 5 on there and extend that lead. So good ball game both sides, and look forward to seeing these two teams play again.
We're going to see Illinois now by way of its victory, John, to take on Michigan. That's tomorrow afternoon, 1 o'clock. And playing at 2 o'clock now in an elimination bracket game will be Wisconsin. But coming up next, we go to the winners bracket of the Midwest region. South Dakota with its first appearance against Minnesota, which put 15 on the board on opening day. Then we'll have Iowa and North Dakota to follow. 2 games done, but still 2 special ones to go. That's it from Westfield. Back in an hour.